I used to lie on top of the world. Now the view looks different from here. Nobody seems to care anymore about honesty, about honesty. In times of doubt, when it all went down and so wrong, I can do better. And the future's now and the calling's loud. We all want a different tomorrow. Light a match till I find a reason to dust myself off and I can rise again. There is always hope in the morning light. There is always hope in the morning light. The crowd is dancing while the world burns, and I'm thinking, how can we sleep? There's things that used to matter to me, like integrity, like integrity. In times of doubt, when it all went down and so wrong, I can do better. And the future's now and the calling's loud. We all want a different tomorrow. I can do better. Light a match till I find a reason to dust myself off and I can rise again. There is always hope in the morning light. There is always hope in the morning light. In the morning light. So cliche, I see the sparks you throw my way. I know your name is written on everyone's mind. Your whole show is captivating me, but don't think that I can see right through that disguise. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, hard, baby. Yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that? My glass is empty, glass empty. How about I get another drink, baby, drink, baby? Okay, I get it. You got fire burning, right there in your eyes. So when you got this whole thing, I like the way you look at me. How about we just go with the flow? Now you know I feel it too. But I don't think this could be something that becomes a thing. Maybe just for tonight, then I'll be.
Good evening, post-university esports fans. Warren JuggleGod Hammond in the booth tonight once again. Happy to be back with you. Last week we were on a break. A game got rescheduled, so post-university, I believe, still waiting to reschedule that one. But tonight, really exciting match for you. Two teams that have only taken one loss tonight. It's going to be Stockton sitting at a 5-1 record, posted 4-1. And both teams, it looks like, are already qualified for the playoffs at this point. So this is going, but this match will have a lot of implications as far as placing and seeding is concerned for the upcoming bracket. So both teams really going to be looking for that W tonight. Now, interesting thing to note is Stockton's only loss was against MCCC, who Post University won 3-1 against. They gave Post University a run for the money, so I don't think this is by any means going to be an easy game for either team. So, yeah, can't wait to see what's going to happen here. We got both teams in the lobbies, and so far we got a map pick. It is going to be Lijiang Tower, of course, classic. Love to see it. And that will be Stockton's pick tonight. They also choose to ban Sojourn, so Post University, I don't think going to be too upset about that. Not one of the DPS heroes we see Post University play a ton of, right? So I don't think that's going to be much of an issue for them. Post University, on the other hand, decided to ban Anna, so Anna could be a great benefit here on Lijiang Tower. And I think, honestly, just a good kind of like, I don't want to say like run-of-the-mill ban, but one that's just generally going to be impactful, right? A lot of teams run Anna. She's incredibly powerful. She's almost always either been meta or meta adjacent. So I think that's a great pick for Post University, especially because like Post will play Anna, but I don't think Anna is necessarily their bread and butter, right? We see a lot of other heroes chosen from them. But looks like we are about ready to get into the map, everybody. Oh yeah, Sodium. You'll see this in a couple minutes, but the game did get pushed back 15 minutes. So, yeah. But we are going to be starting things off here on Gardens. Probably my favorite of these sub maps. And yeah, nothing going on quite yet, chat. Lobby is going to reset now, so we should see both teams are kind of hovering over what they're thinking about in spawn. Of course, Post University great on brawl, great on poke, great on dive. But it definitely favors the brawl composition. So I imagine we're going to see that first, right? It could be Zarya, it could be Ram. I think those are going to be the most likely picks. And in fact, MultiKel is hovering over the Ram at the moment. Ooh, somebody made a basket. It sounds like in spawn. So Florida Man hovering over the JQ right now. That's deep nostril inhale. Did I really? Did you all hear that over the over the microphone? That's wild. That's actually wild.
Round one. Capture the objective.
Well, we are out, and of course, Moridin on the sim. Love to see it. Gets that nice TP onto point. Both teams are here very quickly. MultiKel gets the early pick onto OK. JQ going down pretty low at the moment. Post University certainly in control here, and Stockton actually just decides to back out as Ferd falls off the map. MultiKel gets an exit pick there, so those exit picks are going to be nice. They're going to get a couple of extra percentage points on the board there for Post University. But quick fight win, and I can tell already that Stockton really knows what they're doing, right? They had one player go down. They saw that, Moridin was high charge on that Symmetra beam. So definitely the thing to do was to wait. And Chewy already finding a pick on Ferd as the approach is happening. So the brawl composition doing a little poke there, as it turns out. Stockton, once again, this is incredible discipline right here from Stockton. Definitely what you're going to be seeing from one of these top performing teams here in this division. And Chewy finds another with a grenade. So Post University is doing a great job of just kind of picking one or two players off even before they get the point. Chewy finds me too. So Post University right now, I believe, has only gotten 3 picks, right? But they've effectively won every single fight, maybe 4. So just incredibly economical gameplay coming out from Post University in Stockton. really having a hard time just getting to the point. And that can really be a challenge here. As Chewy goes in with the ultimate, finds one pick. And Stockton just cannot get close enough to the point to even really allow the Junker Queen in to find anything. A couple of really big ultimates coming up here for Post University as well. We do have one for Stockton. I'm going to anticipate we're going to see both of these Kitsune rushes used almost immediately. Yeah, here it comes from Post University. They're going to use those first. Vero goes down very low, but she's able to get healed back up. Lucy going down. Moridin is going to fall, though, as both the tanks are using their ultimates right now, trying to get the picks that they need. The majority of them coming in favor of Post University, though. Ooh. Never mind. Most in favor of Stockton, as Post University has to back out, so crazy fight there. Both teams spending a lot of ultimates. Both going to have sound barrier ready to go here on this next approach. Moridin's going to go ahead and pop that window. Sound barrier comes in as well. That's going to be a pretty aggressive one. We can see Chewy poking kind of from the outside there. Gateway car is down. Chewy's almost able to take out this Echo, but it's a really close fight here. Chewy is going to go ahead and use their ultimate to see if they can put the finishing touches on this. The wrecking ball is out from Florida Man to try and stay alive on point, but Post University putting the finishing touches on this fight. Post University will take submap number 1. Oh, I see, Sodium. You were doing that just before saying my name. Cat v cat 1v1s. Yeah, get the jetpack cat. Well, that would be interesting actually. Give jetpack cat Winston's jump pack. Honestly, kind of sounds like an interesting thing to do. Just swap some heroes' mobility. But here we are on Control Center, and this is the bread and butter,
5, 4,
quintessential
1.
brawl map for Lijiang Tower. Post University does a great job getting this high ground first. It's going to be, again, hard for Stockton to push in, and I feel like Post University really learned a lot from one of their matches recently where they were having a hard time holding on to the point right now, and Post University just doing a great job of that in return. A little bit of a different approach here coming now from Stockton, as we can see Meeph on the Tracer, but Vero doing a good job checking them, the DPS as well, and Post University just kind of zones the team out. Nice TP back to keep Chewy alive too. Ooh, but they do go down. Okay, DB does find one. So now Post University, a little bit on the back foot. Florida Man pushing in. Susie has to be used, but there's not going to be anything left here for MultiKel. KingJackson goes down to the high ground. Chewy now. See if maybe they can get a little sneaky, cheeky pick here in the back. Ooh. And tries to find a trade, but it's not going to be there in the end. Post University going to be a little bit delayed getting back here, although Chewy can't catch up pretty quickly, so it might not be too big of an issue. Post University going to need to watch out for this pulse round 2 from me as they approach the point. Now MultiKel on the aggressive end of things. Florida Man taking a lot of damage here. Pulse Bomb is going to be a whiff there in the back lane. Deadeye, though, does find MultiKel. They don't have to hold on to it long to get the picks that they need. That's going to be 2 for 2 picks. Moridin going down very low. Can they survive here? Not quite going to be able to do it as Chewy looks for something as well. Oh, gets a beautiful pick on to the cast. Looks like they're winning this Tracer too as well. Huge plays from Chewy. Can they get the flip? Not quite. So close, but it is going to be MultiKel back onto the point, but they're taking a lot of damage here. They've almost got their ultimates. They're going to be there a little bit before Florida Man Florida Man pops theirs first, though. Here comes MultiKels, though, on the tail end of that. Is Florida Man going down pretty low? They got out of the way of their heels, so they're taking a lot of damage here. But a beautiful, beautiful turret to kind of keep them alive up there. Florida Man somehow still holding on to life. They've had barely anything in the tank this entire time. Post University with a slow roll fight win here. Off the back of that contest from Chewy, and but honestly, you got to say huge props here to Stockton as well, because they really pushed that percentage as far as they possibly could. Chewy now looking for a pulse bomb. Got a nice flank going. Do they try for the cast with the stun? Oh no, they don't even need to. They find getaway car. They get the stick as well. Chewy with some incredible plays here. Gets the recall, finds their way out. Post University gets a very quick fight win off of the back of this flank from Chewy. Jeez, 3 headshots in a row from Vero. She's just got that pre-aiming down to just, okay, make it 5, 6. Incredible work there. Post University just pushing really hard, not giving Stockton any room. Here comes the Kitsune Rush. Now that they're starting to think about it, Florida Man goes down. Oh, but that's going to be a huge ult coming out from Perd. They're going to die, though, in the process, so they're not going to find the value that they needed, that they wanted from it. 85% on the board here for Post. They've now eclipsed Stockton. Just a little bit more that they need to do to secure this first map. Ooh, Tracer gets the touch a little bit early. They need to hit that 97 mark to really get on there. All right, they are able to do it, but Meat goes down almost immediately. Sounds like a Deadeye, possibly just a reload from Stockton. Ooh, MultiKel with the ultimate as well. Florida Man back on the ball just to get the touch, just to provide as much value as they can, see if they can stay alive. If they can do a good job kind of just dodging this damage, they may be able to hold on long enough. Pulse Bomb comes out, but Meat is going to go down. They do find KingJackson, though, so Post University not out of this yet. Florida Man just with a sliver of health left. Overtime is down, and Post University takes map number 1. Exciting, exciting first map there. Yeah, okay is a scary cast. That is, there's no mistaking that. Yeah, that high note directly into that stick as well was huge. But we head back to the lobby. We take a minute to breathe and see what's going to be the next choice coming out here from Stockton. So it will once again be their map pick and first ban as well. So you know, it's interesting. I feel like everybody really contributed a lot. Like every single player on Post University that last map. So if I'm Stockton, I don't know if I have a clear idea of like who we want to try and target with a ban. Maybe they're looking for a protect ban. Maybe they've got a map that they're really feeling that they want to go to at this point, because both maps were close. Like, let's first start there, right? Both maps were very close. So, or rather, the second map was very close. Post University, no, they did have to retake once on Gardens, but you know, I don't think Stockton's Brawl is necessarily out of the question going up against Post Universities, right? So they could certainly go to another Brawl style map. You know, King's Row is almost always the choice here. So wouldn't be surprised at all if that's where we see ourselves going. But again, you know, maybe they look to mix it up a little bit. Try a poke map. Try a dive map. There's certainly some great options there. But yeah, I just want to again say that it's really that last map was really fascinating because everybody had some moments, right? MultiKel just holding things down on the tank, always consistent, very resilient. Chewy had that great flank. Moridin had a phenomenal Death Blossom. Vero was just insane, actually, with the headshots just all over the place. There was a great aggressive bead coming out from KingJackson as well. So, Yeah, there's not a good pick, I think, in terms of like a ban, but we are going to go to Rialto, so this does signal more of a poke composition, right? So we might be seeing like a Sigma come out, maybe even a Domina from Stockton. So that's going to be very fascinating, I think. No ban yet, I don't think, though. Chewy was looking really good on the Emray as well. So if we're, if Stockton's trying to kind of like base something off of Lijiang Tower, that could be an option for them. In addition, yeah, honestly, a Ram could be good as well. Maybe they want to see if they can kind of like force MultiKel onto something else. And if they really want to try to force the poke v poke, that could be an option. Sodium Chewy went full Hitman. Yeah, Chewy really did. That was just an amazing flank right there. And it's actually going to be Vendetta. Vendetta's going to be the band coming out from Stockton. And that's not a bad idea, too, right? Because one of the hallmarks of poke, right, is you're looking to do your damage on rotations, right? And one of the things that Vendetta can do is can kind of really, really shorten those rotations and put some pressure on the backline, thereby giving, or not necessarily the backline, but put some pressure on the enemy DPS, right? Which will then open things up for Vendetta's team to be able to move forward, right, and do that rotation with a little less danger. So great idea coming from them, especially if Stockton has done their homework and knows that Chewy is just a disgusting Vendetta, which Chewy absolutely is. So I think that's a solid pick coming out from Stockton as far as a ban. And Post University says no Roadhog, which says to me Post University probably did their homework as well and just knows that Stockton has a scary hog, because I don't know if I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I don't think Rialto and immediately think Roadhog. So, yeah, that's fascinating. I'm curious to see. I might have to ask in the interview after the game about that Roadhog ban, because I would just love some insight into that. I would be really excited if Stockton did have like the secret Rialto Roadhog strat. I think that would be an incredibly fascinating thing, but who knows? Who knows, to be perfectly honest. But here we are. We are in Rialto. I'm going to go for a little ride on the gondola. We're going to see how far we can go with them. I think this is kind of the end right here. Oh, wow, we can actually go further down here than I thought. Probably just because of spectator shenanigans. I was hoping we would actually get to go down this little hallway, which I'm going to do. Well, this is really interesting. Okay, there's the edge of the map. What do you know?
Ready for battle.
Post University on the defense to start things out. And the Chewy Widowmaker. Now, this is exciting. I don't know if I've seen the Chewy Widowmaker before.
After the trigger pull,
Oh no, that's right. On attack. Okay, this might not be staying. This is probably just a right out of spawn, look to see if you can get a quick pick, kind of a thing. Yeah, this is Sojourn on this map makes a whole lot of sense coming out from Stockton. The Pharah is an interesting pick to me because, again, you're looking at a lot of like long-range hit scan and snipers. So Pharah could have some problems here, especially if Chewy gets like a nice early shot. Gonna go a little bit high initially. Looks like Chewy's gonna push it just a little bit. Yeah, definitely has their eye out for that Pharah. That's gonna be certainly one of the big immediate picks they're looking for. Nice positioning here. Ooh, the rockets are coming in. Chewy in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, it gets out-sniped by Ferd. Moridin going down pretty low. Is forced to back out now, and this has allowed me to get Meep is able to push forward now because Chewy isn't in the... It doesn't have those scopes out anymore. Post University does get the card up here to this second corner, though, which is going to be a good amount of progress. And now Chewy's in the air as well. So don't have to, you know, this is like twofold here for Post University. You know, they don't have kind of that cover. They don't have that map control that they had. But in addition, you know, they're going to be able to go head-to-head with Meep a little bit easier on those flyers. Big anti-nade comes in. Now I'm wondering if that Ana pick was for Bird. Maybe Bird is just a notorious or Ana. Post University really have a hard time getting any kind of progress here. MultiKel is back on the Ramatra. Post University really just being zoned out at this moment, so they're going to look for something else. Post University has been working on flipping the map as a strat, and so this looks like what we might have at this point. They're going to try and push forward. Bird does find Chewy once again, though, so they're going to be down one player. Sleep Dart is out, though. Here comes a barrage as well. It is going to find King. MultiKel tries to put in a little damage, but they're not going to find it. Ooh. And Post University having a hard time here so far on Rialto. Big props to Stockton. That is 2 minutes burnt off the clock already against Post University. And Ferd finds Chewy again. Okay, Ferd is disgusting on the Ana. A little bits have been built up, though, at this point. So here's an opportunity for Post University to make something happen. Moridin has the Blizzard, but that's not going to really hamper Meep unless they catch him on the ground, which would be pretty surprising because Meep is looking really good in the air as far as well. Kitsune Rush probably incoming pretty soon. Both teams do have it ready to go. Moridin taking a little bit of damage, but MultiKel maybe even a little bit more. KingJackson says, all right, let's go for it. Let's do this aggressive sound barrier. So they're going to do just that. Blizzard comes out. Moridin, can they find anything? They're forced to go into an ice block. No picks coming out for Post. Chewy's almost got one. With MultiKel finds the pick, gets an Ana. They could have a huge plays right there. Yeah, Post University needed to break through. They needed to crack this, and they found it. 45 seconds left to go. That was a stranglehold that Stockton had on that point. Look, both teams expended all their ultimates. Now, Meep is going to get theirs first. They are going to have that barrage ready to go relatively quickly. Ooh, a lot of damage coming in. Okay, out pretty far right there. Looks like they kind of bit off more than they could chew. And you cannot be away from cover with Ferd on the field. Ferd is insane on this Ana. It's an incredible rate that Moridin has built this next Blizzard now. Watching for a nano barrage, though. Nice job clocking that flank there. Ooh. Might be too little too late as MultiKel does go down. Post University just going to try and hold on to this progress. Can they get that pick onto the Soj? Not going to happen. Post University with a couple of misplays there, I think. 2 minutes still on the clock. They need to win one and a half to 2 fights here to take this map. Meep still looking for this barrage over on the side, and Post University looks like they want to try and poke them out of the air, but or that high ground. Chewy, though, gonna flank around. Gonna see if they can out-duel this far in the sky, but Bird finds them. So Chewy recognizing that, giving the respect, backing out. Okay, does find Moridin once again. Post University gets no progress, unfortunately, really on the map here as MultiKel goes down once again. 1.5 minutes left to go. What's up, Slap Pizza? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello from 3 minutes in the future. You're in for an exciting match here tonight. Meep has just been holding on to this barrage. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it can be a mistake. Bird finds Chewy again. Bird is disgusting. Bird is insane. Here comes the barrage, but Moridin finds him with a headshot. That's going to be a big pick for Post University. Things are even now. It's definitely their time to make something happen here. As we see the Nano Boost committed to Florida Man, but Post University gets a pick. Gonna find two. MultiKel on an absolute rampage here. Florida Man still alive. Third, gonna try and 1v1. MultiKel here finds the sleep on them in the anti-nade. Ferg, you're the most disgusting Ana I think I've seen in a long time. I am terrified of you. Post University in a really tough spot here. Chewy forced to use the duplication. Here comes a Kitsune rush as well to try and push things forward. Diva MultiKel gonna see if they can take out the far. They do just that. A great call here at the last moment to try and do a couple things. Get the touch, get some pressure on that Sky, alleviate some of the pressure from the back line from Chewy as well. We're going to see the dive in. Anti-nade hits, though. But MultiKel is able to sustain through it all. Finds a pick as well. Can't Post University get the picks that they need as Florida Man and OK are doing a great job holding on to things. There's going to be a D-mech. KingJackson trying to stay alive on point, ducking and dodging, but the overtime will take down. And that was honestly a spectacular hold from Stockton. They get Post University stopped right before that checkpoint. Post University, a lot of resilience though, and really not folding when they had that massive hold on first, getting a whole lot of progress. So this is, typically I feel like when I see teams make it to about right here, that tells me again it's going to be a very close map, right? I think most of the times when you see a game won in overtime on Rialto, it's won here on kind of the streets phase of Rialto. So going to be really curious to see how this goes for Post University. They've got a few things they really need to address, right? The big one is Ferd. The big one, honestly, I think is Ferd. Ferd was devastating to what Post University was trying to do, and I think that MultiKel going over to the Diva is a recognition of that fact, right? I think that's absolutely saying, like, okay, we need some protection for any of our flyers, anybody in the high ground. Chewy at the moment, though, is on Emery, so it might not be as big of a deal, right? But also being able to put pressure on Meath. You've got kind of like two strategies when you've got a Pharah who's causing you problems. One is kill everybody else, then deal with the Pharah. The other is just neutralize that threat as best you can. And I think that the Diva pick, it kind of addresses both of those things, right? So I think a very intelligent swap that we've seen here from Post University. As well as Chewy back on the Emre. I think this is a great idea as well, right? Chewy's still going to be able to put pressure on Meath, but isn't going to be as vulnerable to the Ferd Mayhem as they were on the Echo. So we have OK on the Widow this time. Probably going to be, close to that high ground on this first corner here. Actually, they're on the low ground at the moment. There's going to be Diva v Diva as well. Ooh, Ferd finds the sleep onto Multi. It's going to be cleansed, though, by Vero. He says, let's get our tanks back in the mix as quick as we can. Some pressure put onto Meath. Looks like that might have been a nade that was eaten as well by MultiKel there. Ooh, a lot of damage going in. Trying to keep that those heals away from Florida Man. You can see that that was the big thing there that Post University was doing, right? Or that that MultiKel was really doing. OK goes down. How is Florida Man still alive? That is an insane amount of damage that they took. But yeah, I want to highlight again kind of this play that we saw here, right? Where MultiKel was just holding this high ground here, keeping the Ana at bay, and not able to heal Florida Man, who was over here. He was taking a lot of damage, but still maintaining that mech. So I think, honestly, that positioning, that play, was what eventually won Post University that fight, right? A lot of situational awareness and map control and knowledge really led to that. MultiKel able to sustain up there in the face of 3 people right up top. Ferd's sleep doesn't hit. Chewy with an ultimate. Gonna put that pressure on Bird. Almost gets them, but they hold on to their nade long enough to make it work. Self-destruct coming in. Barely finds Chewy. MultiKel sleep at the moment. Does chase down Meep. Are they going to be able to find another one? I think this is a time where, yeah, you don't want to use your self-destruct there or your remech. This is likely going to be a Stockton cap right here, but a decent hold. Stockton is going to be able to get to this point with a little bit more time than Post University had, but not significantly more. Post University was about 3 minutes when they captured here, and I think Post University gets the touch. MultiKel was able to get their big blizzard coming out from Moridin as well. Huge headshot on a getaway car. Can they find another one? They go into the ice block at the last moment to stay alive. Here comes the self-destruct from MultiKel and the remech as well to keep the pressure on deploy. 50 seconds left to go here. Post University putting up a huge hold here. Moridin going down low, but they do get into their ice block again. Nice. Anti-nade comes in. As well from KingJackson to put a lot of pressure on the Florida man. They are going to get demech. 30 seconds left to go here. This is do or die time for Stockton. Post University needs to... Oh, huge picks there coming out. KingJackson off the map. Bird finds Chewy, so this might not be over yet. A nice cleanse coming out. That's going to force MultiKel out of the mech. They're looking for just one pick. Bird not going to allow them to have it, and what a push coming out from Stockton. That really looked to be going all ways for Post University, but a huge turnaround for them. So now, definitely within the possibility that Stockton can finish this map, because now Post University is going to have quite, I don't think, the hold that Stockton did, right? It's going to be a little more challenging, I think, for Post University to kind of push out here and get this hold on this corner. Because they're positioning a little further back. Post University is deciding that, like, okay, we need to hold here. This needs to be the spot. Kitsune Rush comes in from Vero. They're trying to push forward. Moridin goes down low, but Vero's on it. Barrage comes in. Chewy goes down. The Barrage doesn't find anything, but the damage might already be done. Okay, goes down. Nice. Teleport from Vero, but she's eventually going to go down. The Blizzard finds Meep, though. Florida man low, but that's a huge anti-nade coming out from Bird. Oh, MultiKel does get the self-destruct. They're going to be able to get the remech. Moridin needs help, though, to stay alive. MultiKel gets the crush onto Florida, man. Huge plays from MultiKel right there. That, if Post University gets this map, it's going to be off that save. I mean, off of a lot of things, but in particular, and at least at that moment, that save from MultiKel, that remech was huge. Because that fight goes the other way without that rematch. Ooh. MultiKel takes a lot of damage. Not exactly in a great position, but Nano Boost delivered. MultiKel gonna be asleep. They're gonna be D-Max, though. Chewy is already down. Things are looking a little rough here for Post University. Okay, finds a pick. Everything falling apart for the Eagles at the moment. Under this onslaught from Stockton. Post University desperately needs a touch here. Chewy is the only player up. I don't think they're going to be able to get to the point quick enough. And Post University almost makes it to point, but Stockton evening things up at one apiece.
Play of the game.
Oh yeah, great job holding on to that ultimate until the D-Mag came through on MultiKel. Gotta respect it. Good plays, good plays. Coming out from Stockton, so we absolutely have a match on our hands tonight, everybody. Yeah, love to see it, love to see it. So, also, by the way, it looks like we got a solid crowd here tonight. I see a lot of people in chat, a lot of names, a lot of talking going on. So hello, welcome everybody. Good to see you all out there. Post University, it's their pick now. They have options. I think that they're probably going to want to go back to something more akin to a brawl map. So I could easily see King's Row coming out here for them. because yeah, Stockton I think did a great job with that map pick. And also nerfing Chewy, right? Making sure that Chewy did not have that vendetta to use. But now that is absolutely an option for Chewy. And a real quick pick and ban coming in from Post University. It's going to be Esperanza and Farah. So Esperanza will be the map that we go to. Farah is going to be the ban. An interesting thing about Esperanza is there's a lot, as far as like the push maps are concerned, this one I think has the most corners, right? And the fewest long sight lines, which means that is going to mitigate some of the effectiveness of Ferd, right? Ferd isn't going to be able to stay as far back in the fight as they normally would be able to. So I think that's a solid choice. Lucio ban is excellent as well. That kind of like eclipse, KingJackson's game right there. And also just makes the rush a little bit more difficult, right? We might see Juno come out instead, right? So that there's still that speed boost, because that's kind of the one of the biggest things about the Lucio pick, right? Of course, the sound barrier is huge as well, right? Like Lucio is just an insanely powerful hero, but I think that at least if you're going to try and make up for not having them, you're going to put in Juno, and Jojo is coming in. So I think that's kind of a signal of that kind of that thought process, that we're probably going to see Juno coming in, Juno being played by Jojo. So yeah, these teams are ready to go though. So we are headed straight into the map. Map number 3 here, tied at 1 apiece. Huge game here. A lot on the line for both teams. Both of them trying to get the best placement that they can, the best position in the bracket, going into the playoffs. So, hold on. Did they catch the R? Yeah, they did. Excellent. This is interesting. I just noticed you can really kind of see the map in my eye, in the reflection of my glasses. These glasses are incredibly reflective. I think it's honestly, it's maybe even just like the lights here at Localhost. And once again, big shout out to Localhost. Thank you as always for giving me the opportunity to cast out of the facility. Great people, used to work here, still love them all. And the facility. So it's a warm day out here though in Denver, Colorado. For those of you who are out in if you're out here in the mountain region or the Midwest, that we have had just a stupid amount of heat here. Barely any snow this year at all. So we're almost at 90 degrees here today. Mid 80s for sure. MultiKel hovering over the JQ at the moment. I feel like we don't see that too terribly often. Of course, MultiKel great on the JQ, but not typically their first pick. Florida man on the Winston. That's going to be exciting to see as well.
4, 3, 2, 1. Objective unlocked.
And Chewy, of course, back on the Vendetta. We get the TP out. Yeah, you get Post University can already hear those Tesla cannons going. Chewy taking their time. So there's another Vendetta on the board. This is going to be very interesting to see. Chewy on the prowl, looking for that pick. Ooh, it might have cut off more than they could chew, though. No, they do find the pick, but they might pay for it as well. It's going to be 1-for-1 trade, but a DPS for a DPS. Post University with control over the cart, they're going to be able to kind of hold on to it a little bit better because they're, this is a brawl composition versus this dive. And yeah, we do have Jojo on the Juno, right? To kind of provide that ability to engage and disengage. Speed goes down very low, but yeah, huge job keeping them alive, keeping them up. MultiKel now trying to duel the Juno, or the Vendetta. Almost gets It does get out, as a matter of fact. Chewy goes down again as they get back to the fight. So Post University on the back foot here, and we can see the dive coming in now. That back line getting a lot of damage. Jojo does go down. Meave is going to fall, but remains to see if Post University can fight back from this. Moridin having a hard time building up that beam. Ice Shield coming in. Great disengagement right there, but a huge anti-nade from Bird. Chewy falls once again, but Florida Man is down. That's going to be big for Post University. They need to try and capitalize on this, but a lot of damage coming in from that Freya. So Post University going to be sent back to spawn here. So crazy first fight. Very, very long. That first fight took close to 2 minutes. But this is wild. Post University not going to be quite able to contest, but they're going to be close to it. That's a pretty aggressive dive coming in already. Ooh. Freya almost bites off more than they can chew, is able to get jumped out just in time. Net boost delivered. Or no, rather the Kitsune rush. Moridin going down low, but they're able to survive. Nice kill there from Chewy. You're going to be able to find a second one. Bird is almost down as well, but a big nade going to stop them in their tracks. Post University, MultiKel still alive. Try to hold on here, but I think Bird is still alive as well, which means that Florida Man has the support. A nice sleep. That's going to stagger MultiKel pretty substantially as well. So we might even see... Oh, they do get the pick on the Bird, though. Huge. Post University actually makes it back. So because MultiKel held on there, Post University is going to be able to win that fight, get a little bit of progress here, at least get it back towards the middle, right? I don't think they're going to be able to get it much farther than that yet. Looks like they're trying to back out, but no, Chewy's coming in, looking for a big ultimate. Can they find something? They do. They get meat. It's a big part of the equation out now. Try to go in with just a little bit more. MultiKel should be back here at this point. Getaway car goes down pretty low. Chewy takes a bit of damage, wisely backs out pretty quickly. MultiKel now back on that front line. Here comes Florida Man, though. Going to see if they can get something else going. It's going to be a trade piece, but crucially, Getaway car is down, so there's not going to be the sustain that they need. Meave does find Chewy, though, so there's no GTS now for Post University. Still need to find a way to turn this around. Big picks coming out for MultiKel, but Florida Man still alive, as is 2 other players on the side of Stockton. MultiKel finds a kill still in the midst of that. So MultiKel is doing an insane amount of damage before they die. And that's honestly really working out well for Post University because it means they're going to be able to recontest this a lot easier, right? So they don't quite get into the lead, but they're also not going to be able to, or Stockton rather, is not going to be able to get too much more distance, I don't think, on the cart, right? They're not going to be able to get this first, these forward spawns just quite yet. Ooh, Florida Man going down low. They're going to jump out at just the last moment. Meave in a little too far. They're going to pay for it. But Chewy doing potentially just the same. Nice knife there. Pulling the Winston back. Are they going to be able to get the pick that they need? Bird is over on the right side alone. Oh, no, that was okay. So Post University picking them off one by one, getting what they need out of this. And at this point, Post University probably going to be able to take the lead, maybe even get the forward spawns. Somehow Bird is still alive, by the way. And MultiKel didn't quite clock that, I don't think, as they're asleep now. Post University really didn't get the picks that they needed to, though, in order to definitely take these forward spawns. It looks like they're going to be able to take the lead, barely. If they can get these forward spawns, that could be absolutely huge. Nice play there from Chewy, recognizing they don't quite have everything they need to stay in there and get that kill. Right, but definitely delaying Stockton quite a bit. Ooh, beautiful little bit of tech right there to get up into that window. Nice, finds getaway card. That's going to be big. They're on Bird, but Bird is insane. Bird is absolutely insane. Jojo now with their ultimate looking to see if they can make something happen here. Ooh, Okay, goes down via MultiKel. There is still meat in the back line, though. They don't have much health. Post University needs to recognize, though, that that's the case. They do have the lead. How did I say chewy? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah, that's just the DPS line. It's Chewy. Chewy is the DPS line. Huge push here from Post University. They've really kind of like unlocked this map at this point. Now they're in control, right? They're going to be able to breathe a little bit easier. They still have to work really hard. Here comes the ultimate, though, from me. Looking for somebody. Doesn't find the pick. Doesn't even necessarily get the damage that they're looking for. Nice pick from Jojo. Really holding things down there for Post University. And now Post has got that 100-meter mark, so things have just gotten substantially more difficult here for Stockton. And Florida Man dying right there is huge as well for Post University. Now, they've got to wait for Florida Man to come back out before they really can take this next fight. Moridin backing out here a little bit. Meat has gone over to the Genji as well, which is interesting because I think that's going to be really difficult with Moridin, right? Moridin's going to be able to put up those turrets and really provide a lot of danger, right, for that Genji. As well, Genji can't reflect the beam, so certainly difficult. In fact, Chewy's able to get him down. Oh, the Deadeye doesn't hit. Laser-like focus coming out from Moridin to get that kill, but a lot of damage coming in to Post University. Everybody is low, but it looks like everybody from Stockton is a little bit lower. Ferd somehow still alive, but only for a moment, and now Post University just has to get it over this mark. They're very close to finishing the map, and that would be quite a statement coming in here. Meath does get to the point. They're finding something, but Chewy with a huge ultimate. Now the Wrecking Ball stall coming out once again. There's an Nano Boost on that hamster as well. MultiKel with the ultimate. It hits the ball as well, and the bot pushes over Post University now at 2-1. This match has just been a slog. Both of these teams are playing spectacularly well. And I really would not be surprised if we see another, if we see a map 5 here this week. So, yeah, what can we say about that last map? Is something I think that we should absolutely point out first is the fact that there was a little bit of a snowball there towards the end, right? Once Post University got those forward spawns, they kind of had it from there on, right? And you can attribute that to several things, right? It could be that Post University is, it's kind of figured out Stockton, right? Because that's something that Post is really good at. They're very adaptable, right? Very, very adaptable. And it could be that Post just finally figured out, like, okay, this is the approach that we need to take against Stockton. Another thing is we have to talk about the mental aspect, right? And we could talk about it from both the side of Post and Stockton. It could be that Post finally got a lot of confidence, right? Once they really broke through that, that confidence is going to breed more success, right? It could also be that Stockton really started to feel the pressure, and maybe they got panicked a little bit. I'm less convinced that that's the case because Stockton is such a good team. I think it's probably one of the first two things. Either Post University really got that boost of confidence that they needed, or they just figured Stockton out. So I love these comments in chat. Ferd is genuinely collegiate. Rujay Hong. Yeah, that is so fair. Ferd is insane. I'm here casting for Post, but I love showing the other team some love as well. And Ferd is disgusting. Ferd is absolutely disgusting. If you're watching this back in the in the future or whatever, Stockton, like hats off to you, Ferd. You're insane. You're actually insane. Midtown's gonna be the pick coming out from Stockton here. So I don't know if I've seen Midtown. I haven't seen Midtown in a tournament in a long time. Um, that's fascinating. At this point, I feel like I'm just like commenting about how things are going to affect Ferd, right? Because Ferd is just insane. So there's certainly like one point where there's, I guess, a couple of points where there's really a lot of long sidelines. Like Anna can certainly excel here, right? Um, Now, as far as a pick, or a ban rather, for Stockton, um, I don't think it would be worth it to ban Sim. Oh, hey, thanks for the sub, Chef Johnny Fuego. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Um, Yeah, and in fact, it looks like both teams are going to take a little bit of a break. So I'm going to ponder things during this break. We're going to throw it to a be right back screen, but don't go anywhere, anybody. This I think is so far the match of the match of the semester so far. So see you all back here very soon.
my promised land. Stray bullets on my sweet melody, laughing through the chaos, I'm finally free. Cities crumble, I'm the queen of the show, with a rocket in my pocket and nowhere to go. Tick tock, hit the clock, don't waste my time. Click boom, another world left behind. I'm the spark, I'm the fire, I'm the fuse they dread. Colors explode in a riot of red. Gonna paint this town with a mischievous grin. They lose, I win, let the mayhem begin. Goes the fire, chaos in my hands, dancing through the ruins. It's my promised land. Every blast leaves a mark in my name. They'll curse this day in my beautiful game.
Welcome back, Post University esports fans. But the break is done. The bans are in, and a recognition of just the power that is Chewy. Emery has been banned, and Post University decided to ban Diva, which that could be interesting. I feel like that was a pretty big answer that Post University had for what Stockton has been doing. So. An interesting choice. I'm not sold on it, but Post University is Post, and I believe them. I trust them. So it's there's been a couple of interesting questions on my mind. I think this match. One of them was the Roadhog ban, and again actually this Diva ban. So curious to see what the thought process was behind that. KingJackson back in for Jojo. They want that Lucio back. In the mix, so I think that makes a lot of sense, especially going into Midtown, right? Post University, I'm almost certain is going to try and just like run this down with a brawl, run it down with a rush. As to whether or not it's going to be I think it was between the Ram and the JQ. I think we're going to see the JQ again. I think that. Well, it's tough to say. It's tough to say because the Ramatra did really well for them on Lijiang Tower, right? But I feel like the JQ was kind of a big part of the success that Post University had against Stockton on Esperanza. So it's hard to say, really hard to say, honestly. It could go either way. Oh, looks like I still. Oops. Yeah, somebody's PC has apparently caught fire. Not, really, figuratively. So, somebody on the Stockton side, I think, so they're dealing with that at the moment. But again, it's so awesome to see so many people here in chat tonight. Love to hear about what's happening as well in the Marvel Rivals. Looking at some of that in chat, that's very exciting. That's a game that I still haven't gotten to play, which is kind of wild. I can't believe that that's actually the case, that I still have not played Marvel Rivals, because it's such a good game. And I've enjoyed what I've seen of it as well. And of course, the parallels between it and Overwatch are, numerous to say the least. So. Glad to see it sounds like somebody big coming in next year for the Rivals squad, so that's exciting. I might have to tune into that a little bit more. But yeah, Midtown. I think let's do a little bit of let's talk theory here a little bit, or make some guesses, make some hypotheses, some educated guesses, as it were. I think we're probably going to see Moridin back on the, it's the question, right, for Moridin. Are we going to see the May? Are we going to see the Sim? I think we might see the Sim, because I feel like there's a couple of really good TP opportunities here in Midtown, especially first point attack, which is what Post is going to be doing, right? Post is going to be on attack first, so you've certainly got some really, really good TP opportunities here. And in fact, as we are loaded into the map now, we can talk about a couple of them. First one's going to be over here, right? And just to orient you all, if you're not super familiar with the map, there's going to be the point, right? Here's spawn, kind of right around that second corner there. And there's a great TP kind of like down this, from this hallway, through there over to the Mega, which can be really nice. And that flank is going to lead out to this area. And if you're looking to, you know, minimize the amount of time that you're kind of in the open, this is a really good way to do it, right? Because you can cross over to here. There's another Mega. You can take control of that as the attackers. And then, well, I wouldn't exactly call this like a map flip. You are certainly coming from a position that people aren't really going to be expecting. Now, Meef is back on the Pharah, so staying in kind of like an enclosed place like that could be pretty devastating for them. So I imagine if Post does opt for a strategy like that, we're going to see Post want to kind of push out into the open relatively quickly so that they're not all grouped up in that door and taking damage. But all to be seen, Moridin is not on the Symmetra, so all of that theory crafting was for naught. But I wouldn't be surprised if we still see like Moridin maybe take a route kind of like that. We are back on the JQ. I think that makes a good amount of sense. Chewy on the cast as well. That's a different look. Don't see this too often, but I think it's a great thing to do, kind of in response to this far. This is definitely like a very cut and dry brawl composition here, right? Especially with Moridin, who's really going to be looking for a flank, right? You're going to be looking for an opportunity to really kind of get behind or get to the side of this composition. Post Universe is doing a good job kind of pushing forward here. In fact, we can already see Chewy kind of flanking over to this Mega Health Pack. Trying to get Meef out of the sky here. Oh, a nice kill there from Chewy, taking advantage of that. Mega. Florida Man comes in, tries to get some damage in with Bird down, though. Things are falling apart quickly for Stockton, and Post University on their first push captures the first point. Now, let's go back a little bit to what I was talking about at break, right? Where, you know, I was kind of posing a question like, okay, was this, you know, Post University kind of figuring things out, or was this something else? And to me, this first attack here says this is Post University figuring things out. They found the formula, right? And now they're just going to try and execute it. Chewy on the cast is really providing a lot of problems here for me. Ooh, almost gets the pick there, but a great play coming out from OK to really back up their DPS. OK does go down, though. MultiKel finds the pick, but now they're taking a lot of damage. KingJackson recognizes it, drops back, tries to keep their tank up. Still taking a bit of damage, but the sustain on the JQ is substantial. A nice knife, gonna try and pull them in. Kitsune rush now. Pushing in as quick as they can. Gets another knife, stuck into Florida Man. Brains to see if they push him forward. Nice shotgun shot into the sky. Clips the wings of Meep. Lets them push forward. And now panic mode coming out from Florida Man. They do find Chewy, though. This could be devastating for Post University. And honestly, huge plays coming out from Stockton to really push back. Post University forced to abandon that push. They get some progress, but not really a ton. Not as much as I feel like you would have expected given the early picks that they got. So kudos there to Florida Man and Bird. I believe there's a Nana Boost even committed to that as well. So a couple of big ultimates on board here for Post University. Moridin going to be looking for a way to, flank and drop into the mix here. Meep does have their barrage as well, though, so Chewy's certainly going to need to be trying to check them in the sky. He goes down low. Backs off, though, gets the heals they need so they can get back into the fight. Ooh, big push here coming from Post. They decide to just go straight in. Moridin finds 3. Post University picks up the fight win. And that right there, honestly, I think was like the definition of rush. You get the speed boost, you go in, you hit Q, you get the kills. Stockton going to have an opportunity here, though, to contest the point. Post University can keep him off, but it's going to be tough. Florida Man trying to get to point. They touch at the last second here. Here comes the Deadeye from Chewy. Are they going to be able to find anybody? Even just the pressure is sometimes enough. They help secure 1 kill. Moridin does go down, but here doing a good job ducking and dodging, but Chewy's aim was on. Now Bird running for their life. Not going to hold on to it. And Florida Man caught in a very bad position here, but Chewy, I don't think really recognized that. I think it's going to be kind of a 1-for-1 trade here. And I think it's honestly not going to be super impactful for either team, that pick. You know, the cart was stopped there, so not a lot of progress being made. Nothing really lost from post-university, and even though normally in this situation the spawns would be in post-university's favor, everybody's back here. You know, this is kind of exactly where you would have expected the fight to start anyway. Sunni rush coming out from Vero. Answered in kind by the getaway car. The flank here. Gonna be called out. Vero and Chewy combined. Big sound barrier coming out, and now Florida Man taking a lot of damage. Post University needs to get that kill though quickly. Otherwise, they're going to be in a lot of trouble because everybody kind of jumped in. MultiKel eventually gets the pick, but KingJackson does go down. So now Post University in a little bit of a tough position here. They're going to want to get just kind of as much progress as they can on this card. They might not be able to cap it all the way. And in fact, yeah, MultiKel recognizes that. They're going to fall back. They're going to regroup. They're going to wait for KingJackson and actually Chewy to get back to the fight here. MultiKel has the ultimate, though. So getaway car, if they're clocking it, if they're tracking holds, they know they want to save that Suzu. Ooh, this flank not working out for me. Post University with an opportunity here to really secure this. Knife doesn't catch anything, but is it going to get anything on the rebound? It sounds like it does. Now, great opportunity here for the ultimate from MultiKel. Wouldn't be surprised if we see it, but Bird with a big Transcendence coming in. Get to see the Bird Zen as well. That's exciting. MultiKel holding onto it. A big rail coming in. Huge rail coming in from OK. Puts the finishing touches on Post University, and MultiKel loses that ultimate because of those rails. Honestly, massive, massive play right there. Post University threw a lot into that final push there, and it got him right on the brink. Right? That's almost as good as a full cap. You know, and certainly Post University going to want to try and get that. They've got 2 minutes. I imagine we're going to see this fight. This fight, I imagine, is going to go Stockton's way. Post University really just wants to build up ultimates here. You know, I don't know if they're going to use a Kitsune Rush or not. I feel like they've got the defensive ultimates, but it might be worth it to hold here, right? Just try and maybe get your Death Blossom up. Try and get that Deadeye up. Something along those lines. No, here we go. We're going to go in with it. Of course, this is going to help build the ultimates. Nice focus there for Moridin. The rest of Post University. The focus fire was there. Now, Florida Man taking a lot of damage. Gonna go down. Finds the pick. And nobody touches. Post University gets the cap with 1:11 on the clock. That's a pretty decent time, too.
0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
You know what? I don't think I ever noticed this driver before. Look at that. Lore drop, new hero. Fireman hero. Tank. Just drives this car. Who knows? So somebody early in chat was commenting on the weather. I was talking about it earlier out here in the West, and it sounds like, oh yeah, that's right. No, y'all in the Northeast, I think it was somebody out there, which of course that's where Post University is. Really getting slammed this year with the snow. Like honestly, I feel like us out here in Colorado would trade it. We would trade for it in a heartbeat. Oh, and look at this. We're seeing the Florida Man Hog. Okay, and honestly, like if you know the quintessential, if the the lore accurate Florida Man was going to be a tank, it would be Roadhog, without a doubt. I have no doubt in my mind that if the true Florida Man were a tank in Overwatch, it would 100% be Roadhog.
Defend objective A.
So everybody on post is really going to need to kind of play that distance and play those corners, right? Because I'm scared. I'm scared of the Florida Man Hog, right? And yeah, the hook comes out immediately, doesn't catch anybody. Nice knife there. I think the JQ is going to be a pretty decent kind of pick alongside, or to kind of go up against the Hog. This could be a dangerous place for KingJackson, though. That hook could certainly reach there pretty easily. And yeah, everybody really playing their corners well. Florida Man hasn't been able to land a hook yet, but I feel like it's only a matter of time. Freya does go down. Ooh, nice pull in there. It's gonna force the vape out of Fog. You know, that's something I'm really noticing this game is that MultiKel has phenomenal knives, right? Like they're really hitting those pretty accurate or pretty quickly. Meep though, finding the value they need, they clear just about everybody out here, and pretty similar cap, right? In terms of timing, I think this was a little bit slower from Stockton, but not appreciably, not by much. And I think something that I liked about what Stockton did right there is they were patient, right? Nobody got risky. They've waited for the pick to come in, and then there's the hook from Florida Man, finds Chewy. So that's gonna be good for Stockton. Now, Post University might want to back out, but no, it gotta be a hook in response, as it were. Comes out from MultiKel. They find one. Ooh, that's a big window there. Yeah, great opportunity here though for MultiKel to try and neutralize it. That ultimate from the Hog as well, going to be devastating. Gets the hook. Going to be a couple trades. Chewy does find one. Are they going to be able to get anything with this Deadeye? Getaway card does peak. The hook lands, but it doesn't pull him in because OK got them. So big fight win there from Stockton. Oh my gosh, Florida Man. Yeah, the hooks are landing now. Florida Man is finding his rhythm, finding his groove. And I think this is going to be interesting with the Death Blossom, right? Because they're going to really need to try and make sure that they time it around this hook. Big rush coming in. Deadeye comes out from OK to try and zone everybody. Oh, and huge picks coming in from Stockton. Here comes the Death Blossom. They find one with it. They are eventually going to go down. A lot of damage did come into the Hog, but I don't think it's really going to matter in the end. As Stockton is just continuing to march forward here. And I don't think Post University does get this contest. Oh, God, especially after that hook from Florida Man. Yeah, I think this is the composition that Post was afraid of, right? Right here. This is, oof, devastating. That might buy them a little bit more distance as well. So KingJackson does have this nano boost. Got a couple of options. You could throw it over to Chewy with the Deadeye, right? Just kind of get to those those kill spots a little bit quicker. Chewy does find one though. Nano boost has been committed to MultiKel. They go in. They find a couple of picks. Their sights set on the Florida Man now. Well, Florida's getting a lot of heals from this Kiri, actually. That Kiri did a crazy job keeping them alive. Crucially, though, MultiKel does have their ultimate ready to go here. Post University has a big road ahead of them, though. 3 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock that they need to burn off here, right? That's a full 2.5 minutes over what Post University has right now. And, you know, if they cap, it'll probably be 30 seconds to a minute above, you know, if Post University can't find the defense. But they're doing a great job kind of holding the point here, maintaining presence. I think KingJackson is at a good point as well. Here comes the Kitsune rush. Post University with an opportunity to go in. Almost gets the cast. Gonna go in with the ultimate as well. A huge pick right there, but what a big immortality field. They're still gonna get a couple of picks, but a huge play coming out there from Ferd. Of course it's Ferd. Of course it's Ferd. But a big hold. A big hold for Post University. That was definitely something they needed. They needed to stop the momentum. Right? Momentum can be such a big thing in this game, and Moridin now getting set up for this Death Blossom. Which, again, it's going to be difficult to find the value that you normally would going up against a comp like this. Oh, and Moridin might get hooked here. Okay, good. Sees, recognizes the danger, gets out before it becomes a problem. Comes the Death Blossom from Chewy, finds 2. Now Post University just needs to clean it up nice and tidy. Moridin does go down. Chewy might as well, but this still should be in favor of Post University because, yeah, they're the only person left. So Moridin still holding on to this Death Blossom. You know, honestly, it might be worth it. Normally, I wouldn't really say this, but it might be worth dedicating the Nano Boost to the Death Blossom here. Just because you're going to want to get that value as fast as you possibly can. But Florida Man has actually gone over to the JQ. So not as big of a concern anymore, right? At least I wouldn't consider it to be. Let me see Moridin definitely thinking about this Death Blossom right here. They're going down low. Post is able to stabilize a little bit. Moridin waiting. Oh, finds the big. Almost gets the pick there on Meef. Doesn't matter. The rest of the team gets it. And honestly, the sneaky play there for Moridin. A big contributor, I think, to that fight win. Minute 24 now. What was looking really rough for Post University is now looking like Post University completely in control here. Vero has the Kitsune Rush. We'll see her use it pretty quickly. There is a duplicate coming up from Meef, and Ferd does have this window as well, so kind of this high ground up here could be a great spot for Ferd to position with that. Yeah, we get the duplicate coming up. Here's the Kitsune Rush from Vero. Moridin in with the Death Blossom. They take a lot of damage, but in the chaos of it all, Meef does go down. Florida Man low. Ooh, gets pulled back in. Huge knife once again from MultiKel. Post took a little bit of damage there, but they came away with the fight win. Now there's 30 seconds left. This is Stockton's do or die time. If they want to stay in this match, if they want to keep themselves at one loss, they have to come away with a fight win here. Post University absolutely excited about the potential to improve their standing going into the playoffs. This would be just fantastic. Huge implications for them. And MultiKel does have this ultimate. Here comes Chewy with theirs. They're going to try and clear things just a little bit. Looks like Florida goes in too deep. 2 picks already. Here comes the ultimate from MultiKel. 1 second on the clock. Nobody going to be able to touch. Post University comes away with the win. One of their toughest challenges yet of the season, but they get it at the end of the day. Moridin finds the play of the game. Oh yeah, this rush right here was dramatic. Love to see it. Well, congratulations, Post University. Great gameplay coming out from y'all, Stockton, as well. You know, good luck to you all for the rest of your season. Really lovely getting to cast you as well. Ferd, again, can we duo? Can you boost me? And just an absolutely insane support player, absolutely insane. In particular, Urana. But great, you know. Just again, it's whenever Post University does it, it's an all-around team effort. You know, the roster is stacked top to bottom. Even the you know, and even the depth, right? The depth in the rest of the team. You know, there's just incredible roster here. So congratulations, Post University. I'm going to throw it to a quick break. We're going to come see who's going to come in for the interview tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
So there's nothing I would take for granted. With me, we'll make it through. Takes two hearts to fix heartbreak. We grew apart, I made a mistake, but I'll try to make it up to you, my darling. Ooh.
I wanna be a real wonder. Heaven lifts me up from under. Wishing I could be somehow stronger now,
So I can fight away all the pain inside me. Never be afraid of the fate that finds me.
wish that I could be
Stronger, so I can be a real wonder. So I can fight away all the pain inside me. Never be afraid of the fate that finds me. Wish that I could be stronger, so I can be a real wonder. Hey, do you wanna come round now? Say around 5:30.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are in the booth with Chewy tonight. What a game, Chewy! This one was a very exciting one. It felt like y'all got pushed a little bit, but you came out of it with a win in the end.
Yeah, I think after first map they kind of put a little bit of a fight up the next three.
Yeah, no,
compared to that one.
they really did. So I had two questions kind of coming into this. I was talking about it to stream. And one was when I saw that Roadhog ban come in on Rialto, I was like, that's interesting. I feel like I haven't seen a Roadhog ban in a while, but had you all done like scouting and knew that Florida Man was like a kind of a gross Roadhog? Did you know that like that was a possibility?
Well, I think going into the map we're gonna probably ban like a DPS, but I think they banned a DPS and then kind of just looked at his profile.
Oh,
That was like his most played character that would make sense on that map. We're like, okay, just go with that.
yeah, that's so fair. Actually, that's a nice little bit of like in-game research done there. That's solid. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, talk me through kind of this series a little bit, because I feel like it was like Lijiang Tower. You know, you all took it 2-0, but it did feel close at times, like especially on Control Center. And then, you know, they came back with the win on, what was it? It wasn't Esperanza. It was
Rialto.
Rialto, right. Yeah, they came back with the win on Rialto. And then Esperanza was really touch and go there for like the first 5 minutes, right? Like y'all were neck and neck, but it seemed like something happened right around the time you all capped that first point and you got forward spawns. So was there kind of like a moment for you all in the game where you were like, okay, we've got this figured out? Or kind of what happened there? Because it felt like you all were really in control for the rest of the match after that.
So like kind of recently, like mainly this season, I've kind of stepped into like a little bit of like a player coach kind of role. So actually just last night or just yesterday, for one of our VOD reviews, we actually looked at a Esperanza map that we just played, and I kind of brought over like some like concepts and like some strats that I learned from like a team that I kind of did the same thing, kind of like player coach for,
Very cool.
a couple years ago. So I think that really helped, like especially like once we got past like first joke. I think like that first like couple minutes I started out like 0-3. Because I was just kind of like,
You were having a rough time of it there at the beginning, yeah.
yeah, it was just
Yeah.
it's a little rough, like especially playing Vendetta, like,
Right.
with the way they like swapped around her perks and stuff. Like you don't really get like the
Yeah.
I call it like the infinite life hack perk
Yeah.
until you get the major perk now.
Yeah,
So,
no, that made me sad that they swapped that. Because,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so we actually I spent maybe like an hour yesterday talking about like that specific map. So I think we're pretty comfortable going there.
Nice,
And,
that's
we
good.
we played the strat pretty well, I believe. So I think that was kind of it. It's just kind of like getting past kind of like that first point, and then you're really able to put that strat into play.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the other question that I had during the series was I forget which map this was. This might have actually been the last map. This might have been Midtown, where I saw you all ban Diva. That felt like an interesting choice to me too, because I felt like Diva was maybe one of the big success stories for you all on Rialto, right? I felt like once MultiKel got on that Diva, that kind of like mitigated the value that that Meef was getting in the air. It also helped mitigate the value that Ferd was finding on the Ana. So what was the rationale behind that ban too?
They banned DPS, and I kind of
Oh,
knew that they were just gonna play Pharah, so I was just like, well, it's kind of annoying to shoot a Pharah when there's a Diva flying at you, so
yeah,
just ban Diva.
that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so it was more aggressively to try and make sure there wasn't as much value that a
Yeah,
Farah could get. Um,
yeah, I think
that makes
especially on
sense.
Rialto,
That
like
makes sense.
their Diva and Pharah synergy was pretty good. I think it
Yeah,
was
that is
just
true. That is true. Awesome. Now, one thing that I think was also really interesting to watch and see, Ferd just seemed like an insane Ana. Was that talked about like between? Did you all feel that as a team was Ferd kind of a thorn in your side? Because it certainly looked to it like it from my perspective. I'm wondering, if they were, how did you eventually kind of play around the value that they were getting, and that I felt that they certainly got like in the first half of the match, but that
Mhm.
definitely fell off towards the second half. Like it felt to me as though you all figured out something kind of around Ferd too.
Um, well, we banned Ana in the first map. I
Right.
think it was most annoying on like Rialto,
Yeah.
but I think it was kind of just on us. Like we were I don't think
Mm,
it was like necessarily an issue. I think we just like kind of gave her too much space to like actually like get value. Like
gotcha.
especially like me on Echo, like I just kind of wasn't able to like go anywhere. Kind of getting like perma poked out from
Yeah.
like a really far distance, and we just weren't able to close.
Yeah.
But I don't think like necessarily anything like clicked. I think just kind of like map. I mean, like Rialto is probably going to be the best map for them to play Ana on,
Yeah.
just to begin
Absolutely.
with. Like that map just kind of caters towards Ana
Yeah, it
like very
really
well.
does.
So like I don't know. I just feel like if you're playing Ana on like push or something like that, like you're gonna kind of get ran over a little bit.
Yeah, that's very
Or
true. That
like
that map really doesn't support an Ana
yeah,
pick as well, especially
yeah, and I think
Esperanza too. Like I thought that was a really intelligent
yeah.
pick from y'all.
They kept like swapping like after like
Right.
I think like the last like two maps like they would start on Ana, but it was kind of like they wouldn't give value and then they would go like I think usually they would go like Zen or something, but
Yeah, they
like
went Zen, and then
at
I
that
think
point you're kind of
eventually
like
BAP as well. So
yeah.
yeah. No, that was really cool to see kind of like the adjustments and the how you all gave them less value as the match went on. Were there any other like highlights for you kind of during the match?
uh
Moments that you really feel like stuck out in your head.
1v2 on first point of Lijiang. That was pretty sick.
Oh, are you talking about when you were on the tracer and you found that Kiri in the back line and then you stuck the
No,
cast?
no, it was whenever I was on Tracer, but we were fighting to like flip point and everyone died, and then it was just like me and then their
Yes.
Tracer and their cast.
Yeah, no, you were on fire on Tracer that map. That was really fun to
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
I gotta let people know I don't just play Vendetta, you know.
Yeah,
It's like
you made a statement. You absolutely made a statement on that map, for sure on the Tracer. That was really exciting to watch, and I think I caught both those plays too. So that was exciting. Um, well, thank you for coming in for the interview. Any final shout outs to anybody out there? Friends, family, coaches, whoever. I guess
uh
you as
shout out
player coach.
shout out my team and shout out my
Awesome.
friends if they're watching. I don't know. I'll give everyone autographs. Don't worry. That's all that count.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Chewy. Thank you all for tuning in once again. Exciting match. I can't wait to see what next week's going to bring. And good luck to you all in the rest of the season.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. GG's. We'll see y'all next time.
So